name of the Most High in vain. Alright, so that's talaquakath. The tha is thou, la quak is take. Okay, not thou take. Alright, it says, so basically this is not thou take the name of the Most High in vain. Alright, that was the following commandment. Zakar, remember. Ha is the, Yawum is day, Ha is the, Shabbath, Sabbath, La, to, Kodash, holy, Wa, it. Remember the day, the Sabbath, to take it holy. Alright, so in other words, to keep the Sabbath day holy. Alright, and we know that the Sabbath day is the seventh day of the week, which beginning with the new moon is a Sabbath. 6 days work shall be done in, and then the seventh day is another Sabbath. Alright, so on the 8th day of the month, the 15th day of the month, the 22nd day of the month, so on and so forth. That's how you have your Sabbaths, beginning with the new moon. So every 7th day is the day of the Lord, the Sabbath day. And we did a lesson on the Sabbath day. When is the Sabbath? Alright, kabad, abaka, wa amaka. Kabad is honor. Abaka, Abba is father, and ka at the end of a word is you or your. Wa is and, amaka, ama is mother, and the ka at the end is your. So honor thy father and thy mother, or honor your father and your mother. Alright, you got la'ah, theratazach. La'ah is no or not. Theratazach is thou murder. Tha is thou. Ratazach is murder. Alright, it has nothing to do with kill. When they say thou shalt not kill, the commandment is thou shalt not murder. Alright, next one is la'ah, no or not. Thana'ap. Tha is thou. Na'ap is adultery. Not thou, adultery. So you're not supposed to commit adultery. Because the Hebrew language is straightforward. You don't need to put all that thou shalt not, It's just straightforward. Not thou, adultery. Bottom line. Alright, the next one is la'ah, which is no or not. Thaganab. Tha is thou, and ganab is steal. Okay? Not thou steal. The next one is la'ah. Tha'aina, shakor. La'ah, no or not. Tha'aina, thou testify. Shakor, falsely. Not thou testify falsely. Okay? And then the last commandment is la'ah, no or not. Tha'chamad. Tha is thou. Chamad is covet. Kal, all. Asherah, which. La, to. Ra'aika. Ra'ai is a friend or neighbor, and the ka at the end is your. So not thou covet all which to your neighbor. So in other words, you're not supposed to covet what belongs to your neighbor, whether it be a woman, some possession, land, whatever the case may be. You're not supposed to covet your neighbor's goods. All right. Now this letter here, or this last word here, ra'aika. Just want to show you something real quick. So now ra'ai is neighbor, right? Neighbor, or it could also be friend. And then you have also rai, which is the same two letters, but rai is evil. Okay? So when you come across those words, you have to pretty much know when it's talking about a neighbor or when it's talking about evil, because they both spelled the same way with the ra and the I. But in this case, neighbor or friend is not connected, and then if it's going to be evil, these two would be connected here. Alright, so that's the 10 commandments. I read it once again for you. Ha'aishara matazawath la'a yahaya laka alahayim achariyam al panya la'a thaisha laka pasal wala'a thai badma la'a talakwakath sham yahawa ba shawa zakar ha yawum ha shabath la kwadashwa kabad abaka wa amaka la'a taratazach la'a thanaap la'a thaganab la'a tha'ina shakor la'a thachamad kal ashara la ra'aika. Alright, so now I just want to go to the English. So for those of you out there that don't really understand the full, the Hebrew fully, we're gonna break it down into English, and then with these shows, you could always pause, and write it down, and you that's how you learn it. When you go to school, when you're a baby, they teach you how to write out the letters and all that, and read them and all that. That's how you do. You take your time, you sit down, you break it down for yourself until you get it, at your pace. This is a little fast pace, but then you take it, you sit down, and you go through it, and then you learn it however the Spirit gives you the ability to learn it. Not every brother's going to learn on the same level. It tells you in the book of Romans, the 12th chapter, 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, that there's different gifts of the Spirit. Same way that there's different gifts of the Spirit, there's different ways that a brother learns. Some brothers learn faster than others, but it doesn't matter. As long as you're learning, that's what counts. The Lord ain't looking at how fast you can learn this truth. The Lord is looking at the quality that you put into it. If you're one of the elect, you're going to get it, and once you get it, you got it. So don't worry about it. If you can't pick it up that fast, take your time, go over it again, and you'll get it eventually. Don't worry about it. Alright, Exodus 20:1. And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy power, which I have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And we read that. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy power, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy power in vain, for the Lord thy power will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the day of the Lord thy power, in that thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy maidservant, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. Alright? So that's the 10 Commandments. And if you notice, like when Yahushua broke this whole thing down, there's really two distinguishing things in the 10 Commandments. Thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Because if you really look at the 10 Commandments, that's what it breaks down to. Dealing with the Most High first, you got to love him with all your mind, soul, and body, and strength, that you won't bow down to these different idols or whatever the case may be. And then love your neighbor as yourself, meaning you're not going to take something or kill your neighbor, or should I say murder your neighbor, So really, if you look at the 10 Commandments, it breaks down to what Yahushua said. Love the Lord thy power with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and love thy neighbor as thyself. Upon these two rest all the commandments. Not that we're not supposed to keep the other commandments, but that's a beginning foundation to keeping the rest of the commandments. All right, and the rest we'll get when we get to the kingdom, and the Lord puts the laws into our inward mind, into our inward man, which is our spirit. All right, takes a stony heart out of us and gives us that fleshly heart. All right, so with that, I hope you brothers and you sisters out there that do still listen to us, hope y'all learned something. And to the next time, I'll say shalom.